Alright, so welcome back. I know we just ended the last clip. Well, we're just starting it up again. We're actually going to be putting this engine and transmission back inside the car for hopefully the last time. I say that it'll probably have to come out again because that's just my luck. But hopefully we're going to put this in this time and then we'll be able to start to button up the last few things. First, we got to get the engine actually off this engine stand so we can do the flywheel and the clutch and then get her going. Putting this new flywheel on right now. Basically, I'm just slowly walking all these bolts in just so that we can get the flywheel to actually sit flat on the crank. I installed the new pilot bearing and yeah, we're just getting this thing prepped now to put the new clutch on. Then we'll be hooking up the transmission next. All right, so it's about 31 degrees out here, 90% humidity. Hot. I'm putting on this clutch. We're actually just using basically just a stock clutch, not an upgraded one or anything. No point. The car makes stock power. Stock clutch should be fine. Pretty simple. I'm sure you've all installed a clutch before. Just slip this thing in here, the alignment tool, and now we're going to place this in. Some people are going to think I'm crazy for this, but I put just a little bit of Loctite on these bolts as well. You don't want them coming loose. These are bolts that you don't want to come loose. They're not easy to get at. If they do come loose, usually your day is ruined. Alright, so most of the time when you install the clutch pressure plate, some people like to look up the torque specs. They're usually like 13 to 18 foot-pounds. The odd time it's like 22 or 25 really. Let's be honest, you can tighten that with your hands. So usually the way I like to do it is to just take the ratchet, we'll walk the pressure plate in as much as we can, and basically just tighten it till you think it's pretty snug. Don't crank it down. Give it a nice little tighten with the ratchet and it should be good. Who would have thought the one thing holding me up is transmission bolts? So it happens, people, when you build a car from a bunch of random shit, you never have the bolts for it. As you can see, we don't have the correct bolts for this thing, so I'm just using this really long one and using a bunch of wheel nuts to space it out. It's actually going to be stronger than factory. We're just going to put this one down here so no one sees it. And if it needs to be replaced, it's easy to get at, but there you go. So right now we're going to sketchily place this engine back inside the car. We've got this crappy old engine hoist and unfortunately it does not like to roll. I gotta like hit the wheels straight so it can go forward. Alright, so we got the engine basically where it needs to go. There's a few little tweaks and stuff, but we're gonna get the engine mounts back in. So we got these custom engine mounts that we made using an upgraded stock WRX mount. It's a poly mount, so it's nice and sturdy. Basically just a bar and then using a stock GM mount here that's just the bushing is cut off of it and all welded in so it's nice and solid. Nice bushing there, so no vibrations and should be good to go. Just got the engine basically placed back inside of the car. Still have to finish up tightening up some of the transmission mounts, but I like to kind of do everything loosely so I can adjust it to where I want it and then we'll tighten everything back up. But basically got the engine back in place for now. Alright, so got the engine, transmission, everything is bolted in where it should be. Unfortunately, had a little bit of an incident here and broke the cap on the distributor, broke both the tabs off. So gonna have to get a new cap now, even though this is a brand new distributor, so that's unfortunate. Put the alternator on here for now, it's just rested in place. It's not really exactly how high it sits. Like I said, we need valve cover gaskets, so I'm just putting them on there just so it looks a little bit better. Yeah, there it is, I guess. All right, so we're gonna close that up for today. We got a lot done actually. We got the engine and everything in. Now it's actually just going to be a few little small things. We gotta hook up this clutch line, bleed out the clutch. You gotta do the valve cover gaskets, like I said, alternator. We gotta do the wiring. Drive shaft still has to be sorted out. That is still another thing. And exhaust and stuff like that. So there's still a lot of few little things going on here and there, but big progress today and hopefully see you soon.